Howdy, peoples. So it is winter time right now, and that means it is cold, and we're going to do a little hack on a solar generator, or whatever you want to call these things. So let's do it. For this project, we are using a Blue Eddy EB150. That's the Blue Eddy. And I apologize about the surroundings, but this is my van, it's my home, this is where I live, and this actually is my backup power supply. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug this in and look for this light over here. You see that one quick flash? It will not charge because it's too cold. It's low temperature kicked in and it will not charge. This unit has 2, 4, 6 little Torx bits, Torx head screws that come out, and then the front will come off. The next step here, we have, these are 5-watt little heat pads, and they're available on Amazon and different places like that, but each one is about 5 watts, and these are actually designed to be sewn into clothing to make heated jackets, heated apparel. And they come here, and the two of them, let's see here, the two of them come together, and this actually just plugs into a USB. So we are going to add these heating elements to this guy. If you look down here on the very bottom, you can see that air gap that's in there. We're going to utilize that air gap. So one of these heat pads is going to go down into this air gap at the very bottom of the unit, and then we'll utilize some of these cover areas where we can work around, and that'll take us back up to the top. I'll bring you right back. Now we've run this first heat pad in here and up, and here's a plug for it sitting right here, and then we're going to get our second pad, and we're actually going to go in under these wires. This will hold it down in place, and we'll work it back into here, and that's going to go below these wires, and these wires are tied down and pretty rigid so they don't move. And we're going to set this guy in here, so even if it gets bounced around, it's held in place by the wires and it can't touch anything potentially dangerous, and that's important. And doing this, this works really well for the Blue Eddy EB150, which is this one here. And I took this apart to redo this setup, but I've had this in here testing it for months, and I haven't had any issues with that. But so that one plugs in, and then you've got your plugins here, and so we've got to get that plugged in. Sorry, I'm obstructing the view a little bit there, but everything's easier with 2 hands. But there we go. We've got both of these plugged in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work the excess wire, because come back to here, we've got a large wire bundle. We're going to work that into here, and then we will utilize zip ties like the manufacturer has, and we'll keep all these wires secured in here. And once I do that, I'll bring you back for the next step. We have secured our wires, so all we have left is the USB sitting at the side of the case. So now we're going to turn around and go look at the other side. Coming around to the other side, there's our USB sticking out here, and what you essentially have to do is you're going to have to put the cover back on. So you can either leave the cover loose so that this has space, or you can cut a little piece out, notch a little piece of the plastic out, so then when it closes, this has a way to not get squished. It has an access point, but you're not squishing or cutting the wires, but you add just a little notch right into here. Here we are back around to the reassembled unit, and here's our little little USB. Now, if you wanted to, you could get some like Velcro, and you could Velcro this onto here, so when it's not in use, it's not hanging. It'll just stick right there. And then when you want to use it, we're just going to come in here and we're going to power on. Gotta hold that down for a minute on this model. And we're powered up. We're going to turn our DC on. Now our DC is on. Now we're taking this guy here and we're plugging it in. And you look at your screen right there, we've got 10 watts of heat running into this blue eddy, and we've got one of them is about this level here, and one of them is down here on the bottom of where that is. And you can get up first thing in the morning. You can keep this plugged in or whatever, or just turn it on, turn your DC on. If you're in a cold environment, you can help keep the inside of this unit warm enough to charge first thing in the morning, because your shortest charging hours are in the winter, and the only time you need that heat is in the winter, when you have the least amount of sun, the least amount of solar, when you need every bit you can get. If you're sitting here at noon or whatever and this unit is still too cold to charge up, you've wasted most of your day of solar already. So this is what I do, and this is a DIY hack. Could potentially void your warranty on a product. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. And also with those heating elements, it's important that you keep them away from heat and electric and things like that with inside the unit itself, so that you're not creating a fire hazard. So this is definitely a DIY for people who know what they're doing, and you're definitely doing this at your own risk. But it works great for me. Hope this helps somebody. Bye.